What INFJs hate but never say. Most people think INFJs are calm, collected, and easygoing. But if you think that, you don't truly know them. INFJs feel deeply, every word, every look, every unspoken intention. And there are things they hate. Things they silently resent. Things they endure quietly without ever speaking up. You might be shocked at how much INFJs suppress just to keep peace, avoid conflict, or protect themselves, and those closest to them often never notice. If you're an INFJ, this will feel painfully familiar. If you're not, this is your guide to understanding the silent struggles of one of the rarest personality types. Today, we'll uncover what INFJs hate but never say. INFJs are sometimes called the rarest personality type, and for good reason. Only 1 to 2% of the population are true INFJs. They're intuitive, empathetic, and emotionally aware. They notice everything, subtle changes in energy, shifts in tone, and unspoken feelings. But that emotional depth comes with a cost. They often suppress their own dislikes and frustrations to avoid hurting others. They rarely complain, argue, or openly say what irritates them, even when something deeply bothers them. This silence can be misunderstood as calmness, indifference, emotional composure. But inside, INFJs are quietly tallying up small slights, repeated behaviors, and emotional fatigue. What follows are 10 things INFJs hate but never say, and each one reveals why they are so misunderstood. 1. Emotional neglect. INFJs notice the small details, the missed check-ins, the overlooked signs of stress, the absence of genuine concern. Even a friend or partner who fails to ask, "How are you really feeling?" can leave a lasting sting. It hurts deeply, yet INFJs rarely speak up. They are hyper-aware of the emotional burdens others carry, and they instinctively avoid adding their own needs to someone else's load. Instead, they carry the hurt silently, hoping someone will eventually recognize their pain. Sometimes they wait years for someone to truly see them, longing for empathy and understanding without ever demanding it. 2. Inauthenticity. INFJs have an uncanny ability to sense when something is fake, when emotions are pretended, flattery is false, or behavior is superficial. They strongly dislike people faking emotions they don't feel, empty compliments or insincere praise, artificial social behavior meant to impress rather than connect. To an INFJ, insincerity isn't just annoying, it's emotionally draining and erodes trust. But calling it out can feel confrontational, even dangerous to the fragile equilibrium they try to maintain in relationships. So they often choose to withdraw quietly, disengaging from those who feel fake to them while silently protecting their emotional energy. 3. Being taken for granted. INFJs give deeply, emotionally, mentally, and physically. They support others endlessly, listen without judgment, and often prioritize other people's needs over their own. But when that effort goes unnoticed or unappreciated, it stings. They rarely vocalize their resentment. Instead, they may withdraw quietly, or continue giving, silently tallying up how little is returned. Being taken for granted is one of the slowest, most silent pains INFJs endure. 4. Dishonesty and manipulation. INFJs have a strong moral compass. They hate deceit, lies, half-truths, and manipulative behavior. But they rarely confront it directly, because they don't want to escalate conflict unnecessarily. They fear it might hurt someone they care about. Instead, they quietly distance themselves from the person or simply stop sharing. This internal frustration is often invisible, which can make INFJs appear aloof or disinterested. 5. Disrespecting boundaries. INFJs value emotional and personal boundaries deeply. When someone ignores those boundaries, barging into private space, emotional territory, or personal time, INFJs feel frustrated. Yet they rarely say anything aloud, because setting boundaries can feel confrontational, and INFJs often prioritize harmony over conflict. This is why INFJs sometimes seem distant or hard to reach. It's a quiet act of self-preservation. 6. Superficial judgments. INFJs hate being judged superficially, for their appearance, for how they spend their time, for the choices they make silently. They perceive nuance, but many people see only surface-level traits. INFJs rarely defend themselves loudly, because they know words often fail to convey the depth behind their choices. Instead, they absorb the judgment silently, often feeling misunderstood. 7. Emotional laziness. INFJs give emotional effort naturally, but they notice when others don't reciprocate, when people expect support but never offer it back. They hate this, but they rarely complain. Instead, they simply withdraw emotionally, silently recalibrating who they invest in. This is why INFJs often appear selective, reserved, or even cold, when really, they're protecting themselves from repeated emotional exhaustion. 8. Lack of meaningful connection. INFJs thrive on depth. They need authenticity, vulnerability, and shared emotional understanding. They hate superficial friendships, surface-level romantic relationships, emotional emptiness. They may participate politely, smile, and nod, but inside, they feel a quiet frustration that never goes away, a yearning for connection that few can satisfy. 9. Shallow conversations. INFJs crave depth in communication. They want conversations that feel meaningful, that spark insight or connection. Small talk, by contrast, feels exhausting, pointless, even emotionally painful. They especially dislike talking about the weather or other surface-level topics, chatting just to meet social expectations. People who speak without intention or substance. Even when others enjoy casual banter, INFJs feel drained by it. Inside, their mind might quietly protest. Why are we talking about this when we could be discussing something that actually matters? They rarely voice this frustration, because they don't want to appear rude, impatient, or ungrateful. Instead, they smile politely, nod along, and mentally retreat into their own thoughts, silently yearning for a conversation that actually resonates. 10. Being misunderstood. INFJs live in a world of meanings, patterns, and symbols. They notice subtleties that often go unseen, emotional undercurrents, hidden intentions, tiny gestures that reveal much more than words. But when they try to share their perspective, they often face dismissal. You're overthinking. I don't get what you mean. Sometimes worse, they're completely ignored or brushed off. INFJs hate this. It's painful to have their deep insights and emotions minimized or labeled too much. But confrontation feels risky. They don't want to create conflict or seem dramatic. Instead, they internalize the disappointment, quietly questioning if anyone truly understands or appreciates the depth they bring to relationships. INFJs hate many things, but they rarely say it aloud. They endure quietly, observing, processing, and protecting themselves. They are not cold or indifferent. They are intensely emotional, deeply reflective, and profoundly sensitive. To truly understand an INFJ, listen beyond words. Notice what isn't said. Recognize the silent emotional labor they carry, because behind every calm exterior is a mind and heart that feel more than most can imagine. If this video resonated with you, subscribe for more content about INFJ psychology, rare personality types, and emotional depth. Comment below, which silent frustration did you relate to most?